Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. Today I want to share some budget version of some skincare best sellers. Dupes, if you will, and I know that like budget is kind of like a broad term. For me, budget is anything between like 20 to 30 pounds. That's like my kind of like rough kind of thing. A lot of the products I'm going to show you are much cheaper than that. Like cheap is £10 and anything under, but essentially these are all cheaper versions of their best-selling alternative. Dupes, if you will. I kind of don't like saying that because nothing is an exact dupe. However, I have taken the best-selling products and I've gone for products that give us the same result. Not exactly the same ingredients, but the same outcome in a way. You'll see what I mean. I got some cheap alternatives for you today. Let's start with a budget version of one of my favorite moisturizers of all time that I never give enough like credit to. This is Glow Recipes Plum Plump Hyaluronic Cream, and that is £35 for 50 milliliters. My cheaper alternative is going to be the Verse Dew Point Moisturizing Gel Cream, which is £13.30 for 60 milliliters. So 10 milliliters more for less than half the price. So before I talk in depth, I want to talk about the similarities between the two products and then the differences. Now, the similarities is that you get that really good dose of deep hydration. The Glow Recipe one is on another level. Glowing skin, hydrated skin is kind of what they do best, but you do get really good dewy glow, and more importantly, your skin feels hydrated with the Verse Dew Point Moisturizing Gel Cream. Gel creams seem to be my preference when it comes to moisturizing texture. Both the Plum Plump Hyaluronic Cream, tongue twist every time, and the Dew Point Moisturizer has that same gel cream consistency that works great as a super lightweight moisturizer for oily skin, but it's comforting, moisturizing, and hydrating, nourishing enough for those drier patches as well. Both have antioxidants. We've got vitamin C in the Glow Recipe one, and then we have green tea. Is it green tea? Green tea in the Versed Moisturizer, and both are incredibly soothing on the skin as well. The differences here is that the Glow Recipe Plum Plump Hyaluronic Cream can actually also help even out your skin tone. And whilst the Verse Moisturizer doesn't do that, I do find that keeping your skin hydrated, moisturized, and plump throughout breakouts kind of leads to less hyperpigmentation in the long run as well. Listen, I love Glow Recipe, we know that, but I also don't think you have to rush out and buy this if you don't really want that really dewy skin. Formulation wise, I do see the difference in price. There's something just so nice about using the Glow Recipe products that I feel match the price tag, but this, you get the same results. You get that same dewy, glowy skin and deep hydration. What I will say is the results of the Glow Recipe cream do seem to last longer as well. I can have a dewy skin all day. I never feel like I have to reapply a moisturizer. With this, I would say you're limited to like 4 or 5 hours, which is still really good. It's still a really good run. But what's most important is this does give your skin the hydration it needs, along with the aloe leaf juice. It's soothing, it's moisturizing. Sometimes I like pile it on my red areas and kind of like let it sit for a bit and then rub it in over my face. Kind of like a mask moisturizer 2-in-1, but still such a good price point for such a good moisturizer. The Rovectin Lotus Cream is also good, but I do kind of prefer this one as a dupe for Glow Recipes. Let's talk about this product, which is the bane of my existence, the Caudalie Instant Detox Mask Vinergetic. I think I spelled that wrong. Vinergetic C+. This is a clay mask. It's 75 milliliters at £24. Now, my kind of like alternative is the simple Detox and Brighten clay mask, 50 milliliters for £4.99. So you could buy maths, 4 of these and it'll still be cheaper just than one of the other products. Now, let's talk about the similarities and differences. Both contain vitamin C. Both of them are kind of like these like detoxing clay masks when we know you cannot detox through your skin. That doesn't mean anything. Clay masks, what they do is they say that they can draw out impurities. They don't. We all know this. We've talked about this mask to death, right? They both have the same claims, okay, when it comes to detoxing the skin. What they're both great at is removing that surface oil, sebum, all that kind of stuff, and making your skin look mattified, making your pores appear smaller. And over time, because the active ingredients, when left on for like 10 minutes or so, can help brighten your skin. What I will say here, having used both, is I feel like this is an example where the price does match the formulation. The simple Detox and Brighten clay mask feels like a very traditional clay mask. You leave it on, it hardens, you wash it off. clay mask. The Caudalie feels it does feel a lot more luxurious, and I feel like the price point is very decent for how much you get and what it is and how it feels. It's like this buttery clay that you leave on the skin that washes off without over drying your skin. It doesn't crack, it doesn't like feel like, you know, like, oh, itchy when it's on your skin. It's a really pleasant to use formulation. But I would say the overall brightening effects of the mask, evening skin tone effects of the mask are very similar. The Caudalie mask uses pink clay. It's supposed to be, supposedly, a gentler, less drying version of kaolin and bentonite, really for sensitive and dry skin. From what I could find, you might have to help me out with this, pink clay is just a variation of kaolin clay with a different mineral makeup that doesn't necessarily make it better for sensitive skin or less drying. I believe what makes it that is kind of what it's formulated with. So I wouldn't personally rush out and all buy pink clay when bentonite and kaolin in a nice formulation are going to do a good job. And I also don't really get the whole new trend of actives and clay masks. Sometimes it works really well. I find vitamin C in a wash-off product kind of weird when you could just use a vitamin C serum if you like that, or a moisturizer. I don't know. I feel like it's not something you need to rinse away. I don't know. So yeah, simple does dry down like a normal clay mask, but you know, it has the same effects. If it's the effects you want, you don't care if you're having a luxury experience, just go for the simple one. I have found an actual decent, good dupe for Paulas Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA Liquid Exfoliant. This is $32 for 118 milliliters. Now, when I find a dupe, it's often in a smaller amount, at a cheaper price rather than the same amount for a cheaper price, and it's hard to find a good alternative to this product. However, the Peach Slices Acne Exfoliating Toner with salicylic acid acne treatment is perfect. I thought I had come across something. I thought I discovered this. I was like, oh my god, I've done it. Everyone knows about this product already, and literally no one told me, and I'm furious. Furious. This is $10.99 for 120 milliliters, so a little bit more for more than half the price. So let's talk about the similarities and differences again. We have 2% BHA in the form of salicylic acid, actual salicylic acid. A lot of the alternatives are usually like willow bark extract or betaine salicylate. I love those personally, but this has actual salicylic acid in. We also have antioxidants in both. I think it's green tea, and we also have centella, both paired with really nice soothing ingredients, which I love in a chemical exfoliant because it takes away any kind of that possible irritation. In Paulas Choice we have allantoin to help soothe the skin. In Peach Slices we have centella. The differences again is really the formulation. Paulas Choice has this slightly thicker than water texture to it that you can put in the palm of your hand, pat over your skin, be absolutely fine. It's not running down your arms. It feels nicer on the skin. A little bit tacky, I will say, but it's a really nice product to use. Peach Slices one is like water. It's like watery, so you do have to apply it on a cotton pad. When you put it in the palm of your hand, it is going to just kind of like go everywhere. But as far as results go, really good. This also has allantoin in it as well as citric acid, glycolic acid, and some fruit extract as well as the AHA. So you're getting like I think you're getting more for your money in this one, but you're getting a really nice formulation with the Paulas Choice one. So next up, we have a dupe for another Paulas Choice product, which is actually like a really big favorite of mine and has really helped with my rosacea, redness, and even breakouts. It's a good all-rounder for me, and that's the Paulas Choice Azelaic Acid Booster. This is 10% azelaic acid, and it's $38 for 30 milliliters. My dupe is another Peach Slices product. This is the Redness Relief Azelaic Acid Serum with 10% azelaic acid. This is $19.99 for 30 milliliters. So again, the same amount for just under half the price. I think just over half the price. Similarities and differences. So they both have that 10% azelaic acid, which is quite hard to find. Well, it used to be, but I think ever since Paulas Choice one became quite popular, quite a few brands use 10% azelaic acid. But to find it in this kind of like really nice, non kind of like powdery non-gritty, almost serum-y textured product is really, really hard to come by. It's fragrance-free, free from all those kind of claims if that's your thing. And they're both really nice and soothing. Again, teaming those high percentage actives alongside nice, soothing, calming ingredients. Now, the differences is that we have salicylic acid in the Paula's Choice one. And for me, that doesn't really... but I don't care. You know, it's great for the breakouts, and if I had acne, I'd probably really, really appreciate that. For me, I don't think it's a plus of the Azelaic acid serum booster. So rather than other actives, in this serum, we have other ingredients that help soothe and calm the skin and reduce that redness, including panthenol and also green tea. And for me, that's kind of my priority over another active when it comes to reducing the redness, especially with my rosacea. I want to keep things as calm as possible. Now, I actually prefer, honestly, the Peach Slices Redness Relief Azelaic Acid Serum over the Paulas Choice Booster, not because of the price point, but because of how it actually feels on the skin. This one does feel a lot softer, a lot more soothing, a lot creamier, a lot more like a moisturizing serum than the Azelaic acid from Paulas Choice. The Paulas Choice one gives me a tingling sensation that I can feel especially around the eye area, and because I'm using it mainly for the redness on my cheeks, the product does slightly travel up here, and that's where I get that really tingling sensation. Whereas with the Peach Slices serum, I get none of that. It's really soothing, calming, feels like I've just used a really nice lightweight moisturizer, but with the same calming anti-redness soothing results. Peach Slices is a brand I'm going to explore much more. I've already purchased a load of their products after loving these two. They are the sister brand of Peach and Lily, kind of like a more affordable off-brand of those, and a brand whose products with actives in I'm actually really enjoying for my rosacea prone skin. So let me know if you've tried any of their products down below. Let me know what you think of these budget versions, if you've used any of them, if you prefer them to the more expensive bestsellers, in the comments down below. You can watch some more product reviews here, some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.